Hello, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia. Welcome to round 2 of the NRL. Before I get into my round 2 NRL tips, I just want to announce really quickly that on Friday night, I will be attending the Gold Coast Titans versus Brisbane Broncos game up at Super Stadium on the Gold Coast. So if you're going to be at the game on Friday night between the Titans and the Broncos, come say hello. I'll be there with always Brisbane Broncos, Luther King, the King himself. So look, if you're going to be there Friday night, come say hello. I'll be there. It's going to be a great time. I'm looking forward to attending the game. So if you're going to be at the game, I'll see you there. I'm sitting in row 2 behind the goalpost. So hope to see you guys there if you're going to be at the game. But let's get into round 2 of the NRL. Some cracking games this weekend. And round 2 of the NRL kicks off on Thursday night down there at Bankwest Stadium at 8 o'clock. It is the Parramatta Eels up against the reigning premiers, the Melbourne Storm. The Melbourne Storm are favourites here at $1.45. And the Eels, they are outsiders here at $2.75. Now for the Eels, not really any changes except for Niukore. He comes into the side for Keegan Hipgrave. Hipgrave is ruled out, so Niukore comes in for Hipgrave. As for the Melbourne Storm, they're pretty much 1 through to 17 from last week. No changes for them. Look, Thursday night, it's a big game. Parramatta vs Melbourne. Can Parramatta knock off last year's reigning premiers, or will the Melbourne Storm keep rolling on? I think the Melbourne Storm will get the job done. I think Parramatta's record against Melbourne is pretty bad as it is. I think Melbourne will be far too good for the Eels on Thursday night. So I'm tipping the Melbourne Storm to win by 18 points, 28 points to 10. I think Josh Addo-Carr will be man of the match, and I just can't see Parramatta winning Thursday night. So Melbourne will win by 18, 28 points to 10, and Josh Addo-Carr to be the man of the match. A Friday night at 6 o'clock down there at the Central Coast Stadium, it is the New Zealand Warriors up against the Newcastle Knights. The Newcastle Knights are favourites here at $1.85, and the Warriors are outsiders at $1.95. Now, this game is very hard to tip simply because both teams won in round 1 and both teams looking to go 2-0 to start the year. Now, for the Warriors, obviously Ewan Aiken is ruled out due to an ankle injury, so Adam Pompey will take his place in the centres. As for the Knights, they are 1 through to 17 from last week. No changes for them. Look, for this game, it's a real toss of the coin game. I am tipping the Newcastle Knights to come away with the win. I think it'll be a really close game. I probably trust Newcastle more than I do New Zealand. We all know how New Zealand are like, win 1 week, lose the next, lose 2 games, win the next. So I can't trust the Warriors yet. I trust the Knights. They were in the finals last year. I think I trust the Newcastle Knights. I do trust the Newcastle Knights a little bit more. So I think the Knights will win 22 points to 20. It'll be a close game. And I think Jaden Brayley for man of the match. So Knights to win by 2 points, 22-20. Jaden Brayley for man of the match. Now, Friday night, the game that I am attending up at Super Stadium at 8 o'clock. It is the Gold Coast Titans versus the Brisbane Broncos. The Titans are favourites here at $1.45. The Broncos are outsiders here at $2.75. Big game on Friday night between these two sides. Now, a couple of changes for the Titans. Brian Kelly is out, so Philip Semi will go into the centres. As for the Broncos, Matt Lodge is ruled out due to injury, so Thomas Flegler will go into the front row, and Reece Kennedy will go onto the bench for the Broncos. Look, for this game, it's going to be a close game, I'm telling you right now. I can't see a blowout for either side here. I am declaring the Brisbane Broncos specials of the round. I think the Broncos are $2.75. They are my specials of the round. You saw last week the Warriors were my specials and they got up. This week, I'm declaring the Brisbane Broncos specials of the round. I'm going the Broncos to win 19 points to 18 in Golden Point. I think Anthony Milford's going to kick a field goal in Golden Point. And my man of the match is going to be Tavita Pangai Jr. So Broncos to win 19-18 on Friday night in Golden Point. Milford to kick the field goal. And Tavita Pangai Jr. to be the man of the match. So Broncos to win there in an upset. Super Saturday begins at 3 o'clock down there at Bankwest Stadium. It is the Bulldogs up against the Panthers. The Panthers are favourites here at $1.12 or $1.10, and the Bulldogs are outsiders here at $6.50. Man, I'll tell you what, the Bulldogs are a decent price. For the Bulldogs, not really any changes for them except Jeremy Marshall-King. He goes onto the bench, and Bradley Dietz, he comes out of the side. As for the Panthers, not really any changes for them, is there? The Panthers, I think they're 1 through to 17. That's not really any changes for the Panthers. Look, I think the Panthers will win against the Bulldogs on Saturday afternoon. I think they'll be a little bit too good for the Bulldogs. The Bulldogs will be up for it. They'll definitely push the Panthers in this game, but I think the class of the Panthers will be too good. So I'm going the Panthers to win 26 points to 12. So the Panthers by 14. And I think Dylan Edwards will be the man of the match in that game. So Panthers to beat the Bulldogs on Saturday, 26-12. And Dylan Edwards for man of the match. The next game on Super Saturday is at 5:30 at Brookvale Oval. It is the Manly Warringah Seagulls up against the South Sydney Rabbitohs. The Rabbitohs are $1.25. Manly are paying $4 here. Look, it's going to be a very interesting game. This one. Can Manly bounce back from last week? Now, for the Seagulls, Dylan Walker remains at fullback. Sean Kepi goes onto the bench, and it looks like Morgan Boyle drops out of the side. And for the Rabbitohs, a big surprise here. Josh Mansell has been dropped. So Jackson Paulo goes onto the wing for the Bunnies. And Keegan Kalamatangi goes into the back row, and Jacob Host goes back to the bench. Look, and also Liam Knight's out. Oh, Liam Knight could be a late inclusion, but he's on the bench in the reserves. Look, for this game, I'm sorry, Manly fans. I know there's a few of them that watch my channel. I'm sorry, but I think South Sydney win this game and win well. I can't see Manly winning this game. I think South will be far too good for Manly on Saturday afternoon now, or Saturday night, whatever you want to call it. I think South will win 34 points to 10, and I think Cody Walker will be man of the match. I think South will be far too good in this one here. So South to win 34-10 and Cody Walker for man of the match. The other game on Saturday night at 7:35 up there at Queensland Country Bank Stadium in Townsville. It is my team, the North Queensland Cowboys, up against the St. George Illawarra Dragons. The Cowboys are favourites here at $1.50. The Dragons are at $2.60. Now, if you were to tell me this game would have been a very hard game to tip in round one, I would have laughed at you. Now, look, the Cowboys, they are unchanged from last week. They kept the same side. As for the Dragons, Corey Norman goes back to 5'8". Adam Clunes goes back to the reserves. Look, I tell you what, I'll tell you right now, as a Cowboys fan, I'm a little bit concerned. The Dragons, they weren't bad last week against the Sharks. The Cowboys on the other end, they were diabolical. Look, it's a real toss of the coin game. I'll go the Cowboys because it's up there in Townsville. I think it'll be a tight game. I'll go the Cowboys to win 22 points to 18. And I'm going to back Michael Morgan to be the man of the match. So Cowboys to win 22-18. Michael Morgan for man of the match. Now, on Sunday afternoon, the Sunday ticket, the first game is at 4 o'clock. It is the West Tigers up against the Sydney Roosters. Now, just getting the odds here because apparently the NRL app wants to play up on you when you start doing live videos. For this game, the Roosters are favourites at $1.25. The West Tigers are at $4. Now, for the West Tigers, not many changes for them. Adam Doueihi returns from injury, so he goes to 5'8". Moses Mbye goes to the bench, along with Russell Packer dropping out of the side as well. For the Roosters, they got a few changes as well. Angus Crichton is out along with Jake Friend, and Drew Hutchison goes to the bench along with Fletcher Baker, and Freddie Lussick will go to hooker for the Roosters, and Nat Butcher goes to back row. Look, for this game, I think this game might be a bit closer than what we actually think. I know a lot of people will say Roosters will win well, but it might be a close game, this one. I think the West Tigers, last week against Canberra, they weren't too bad, and they sort of fell away at the end. I think the Tigers will push them here. I don't think they'll get flogged by 30, but I think the Roosters will have a tough game here. They've got a lot of injuries at the moment, the Roosters, so might be a close game. So I'm going the Roosters. The Roosters will get the job done, I think. So Roosters to win by 10, 26 points to 16, and I think Luke Keary will be the man of the match. And the final game on Sunday night at 6:15 at Nostrada Jubilee Stadium, it is the Cronulla Sharks up against the Canberra Raiders. The Raiders are favourites here at $1.40. The Sharks are at $3. For the Sharks, Jesse Rayman is ruled out due to that suspension. So Hiroti goes into the centres. As for Canberra, they're pretty much 1 through to 17 from last week. Look, I think this game might be a tight one. The Sharks were okay last week without being brilliant, and Canberra, I thought they were a bit sloppy but good in the second half. I think Canberra will get the job done. 22 points to 14. I think Jack Whiten will be the man of the match. He needs a big game. He was pretty poor last week for the Raiders in that win over the Tigers. So I think Raiders will bounce back and get their second win of the season and win 22 points to 14. Hopefully Jack Whiten has a big game. I think he'll be man of the match. So guys, my tips for round 2 of the NRL. The Melbourne Storm, the Newcastle Knights, the Broncos are my specials. The Panthers, the Rabbitohs, the Cowboys, the Roosters, and the Raiders. They're my tips for round 1 of the NRL. Guys, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you guys go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.